Hey everyone, Jason Sherman, strap on your boots. In today's episode, I have Morgana Rae. She's a best-selling author. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, happy to be here, Jason.
Awesome. And we're going to talk about how to become irresistible to money. And I mean, that's a great opening right there, is being irresistible, because money is this unattainable thing that doesn't grow on trees. Our family, our friends taught us over the years, right? So how do you attract something that doesn't grow on trees, right?
Well, I love that you brought up unattainable, because that sounds like that boyfriend or girlfriend who is always telling you that you're not good enough and is like stepping out on you and coming and going and making you feel like a loser. And that is how most of us experience money, but we don't think of it that way. And I'm not just talking to people who have struggled and have never had it, but I'm also talking to people who have it and lose it and have lots of drama around it. So the first way to become irresistible to money is honestly to break up with the bad money relationship that you have right now. So I know that, because I'm in personal development, there are just so many coaches and speakers out there who are
we talking
law of attraction.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, are we talking about the law of attraction is what I was going to ask? Or are we talking more about people who don't know how to manage their money? They might be overspending on things that they don't need to overspend on. When you say break up with money, are you saying like your buying habits are really bad and your spending habits are really bad and we need to figure that out? Or
it can be. Look, I've worked with people who were on public assistance, and I've also worked with billionaires. So behavior follows underlying beliefs and values. So if your spending habits are bad and you're just getting rid of it, or your saving habits are bad, or your earning habits are bad, or any of that, there's stuff going on underneath the surface that, honestly, if you knew about it, it would be a lot easier to fix. And that's also why I don't think money mindset really does much, because if mindset was great, nobody would have to go on a diet. So
that's true.
Right? Yeah. So what we want to do is we want to find out what is going on in your subconscious that hates money, resents money, is pissed off at money, and is getting rid of it, pushing it away. Why you don't want to look at it, why you don't want to treat it like a good partner, why it's getting in the way of relationships, all that kind of stuff. So that's...
Is part of that because of the fact that most people are working to live and not live, they're working their jobs, they're making their paychecks, they're barely able to afford rent. As we know now with the pandemic, it's been kind of opened up that people don't want to work because they are not getting paid enough. And if you're making $2,000 a month and your rent is $1,500 a month, and then your food and utilities and your internet, whatever, you're left with no money, right? So you're never going to get out of the hole. And so do you think people resent money in a way that they're like, well, I'm not earning enough, I'm never going to make enough, so I just hate it. I hate money. I hate how the world revolves around it.
Absolutely. And Jason, if I were to say to you, I hate you, I wish you didn't exist, I hate that I have to deal with you, you are why I can't do X, Y, and Z. And that was before the pandemic. I've been coaching for close to 30 years, and money is the number one universal excuse for everything we can't have, do, or be. So money is like a real jerk. I was going to use stronger language, but it's
like, why can't you travel? Like people always say, like, why can't you travel? Well, because I don't have enough money. Well, why can't you get a nicer place? I don't have enough money. Why can't you get a new car? Yours broke down. I don't have enough money. And why your clothes have holes in it? There's so many things.
If you're a guy, it's even worse.
Great.
Because how do you take a girl out on a first date?
You can't.
What is she going to think about you if you don't have any money? It's castrating. It's horrible.
So how do I attract money to,
okay.
And we're talking, this is for our listeners out there, right? Morgana's about to give us the secret.
Right. Okay. So first of all, just understand that you are never going to want to attract this mean money monster who makes you feel bad about yourself and the world. There's a reason you push it away. You're not a loser. You're not a failure. You're actually very, very successful at pushing away, getting rid of the monster. So first, get honest. That's how I'm not a law of attraction coach. It's like positive thinking and affirmations are going to get you nowhere. In fact, there's science that says that they will make you feel worse. I'm not against positive thinking and affirmations, but you don't put a Band-Aid on a gaping poisonous wound because it'll just turn in on you. So what you need is you need to suck it out. You want to like really see this jerk money, everything you hate about it. And it's going to be even beyond money. It's never the root cause is never money itself, because we made up money to represent stuff like love and worth and safety. So any issues you have around feeling like you weren't loved or you're unworthy or not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, whatever enough, and that the world is not a safe place, you want to kind of dig it out like a lawyer against the universe. And then because we already have a relationship with life and money as if it were a person, we want to imagine that it's that bad person, because then it's no longer abstract, theoretical cocktail party talking about limiting beliefs. When it becomes this horrible person that we despise or fear or don't want to have anything to do with, that is an experience we human beings can relate to. It's real. It's not just some hokey pokey idea.
So money is the villain of the story. Money is evil, and we want to vilify money. And now you mentioned that it's not really about money per se, but is it possibly about the things that you want to get with the money? So maybe, like I said before, like you want these things in life, but you're like, well, I don't have any money, or I'm broke, or my job isn't paying me enough, and so you're not really upset at the fact that you don't have the actual cash, but you're upset at the fact that you don't have the things, because the old adage, money doesn't buy happiness, right? We all have heard that a zillion times.
But
money does not buy
poverty.
But right, so I always say money buys you the things that give you freedom. The money buys you things that maybe make you a little happier in life because you're more comfortable. So is that what the disconnect is?
Well, the disconnect is that money is like the bad parent who says you can't have it.
Right.
You don't get this. You aren't deserving. The problem is the feeling of powerlessness.
Who's the good parent?
There will be no good parent in this story.
Oh,
but
so there's no happy ending.
There's something so much better coming. So much better. Believe me, you don't want it to be your parent. Believe me. Because your first experience of money is your parents, because they tell you if you're loved or worthy or safe. So you want the monster who's not you and isn't your parents, but we're going to pretend it's responsible for all the bad stuff that you don't want in your existence. You want to annihilate it.
Okay.
Like bloodier the better. Leave no bits. It's like the Highlander. There can only be one.
The Death Star.
My 80s. Yeah, exactly. Blow it out of existence. And that creates this experience of a vacuum, because you've had this invisible relationship, which is as real as a relationship with a human being for your whole life. And now it's gone. And it's like, whoa, that's weird. That's when we bring in the money honey. This is going to be the new relationship dynamic, the new experience. And this one feels like a lover. The gender will be the gender that floats your boat. So mine is a guy. And the reason for that is when we get rid of all the things that have ever made you, when you choose to reject in the most violently dramatic way, everything that has made you feel powerless, unworthy, unloved, or unsafe, everything that has minimized you, everything that feels unjust in the world, and you say, this does not get any space in my life experience anymore, as dramatically as possible. And for men, killing that monster can be really, really hard. Keep doing it, because when it's gone and this money honey shows up, and we'll just pick a female money honey. What I've noticed with men is that the new personification that shows up tends to be like this beautiful woman who's like, oh my God, you killed a monster for me. You're my hero. And
you slayed the dragon, my white knight.
Exactly. And men, like, they stand taller and they're like, yeah, I did.
Well, what if the guy is Shrek? I mean,
it doesn't matter. It's who, you're all heroes on the inside. You all want to be, that's who you really are. And you're finally being recognized for that. And your money feels safe. And now you have this relationship that you want to be in. who shares your values and sees you as your best, most creative, most resourceful self, is on your team. And now you get to have a conversation, a new kind of relationship that is not based on rescue me, save me, give me stuff, which makes you like back to being a baby under the power of this monster. Now you're the hero of the story.
Right. So it sounds like a perception or a new reality you're creating for yourself. It's a mindset that you no longer want to allow money to rule your life. You're not letting this bad guy beat you down. You're saying, no, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to just look towards the positive. I'm going to allow this money honey to come into my life. I'm going to forget about the things that I can't have and focus on the things that I can have, focus on what I can control. It sounds like almost like a mindset more than it is.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm hearing, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Down to the heart and the groin.
Okay. Ooh, okay. Wow. Two important places.
The mind will follow whatever your heart and your groin tell you. Okay. So if your body is saying, I like this, your mind is going to be there.
Right.
Whoa, she wants me to balance my checkbook. I'm there for you, baby.
Right.
And it's but it's a different
balancing your checkbook, right? Fun. You mentioned balancing your checkbook. Do you recommend, this is something that I tell people to do who have trouble with money, is to get out a spreadsheet, simple Google sheet or whatever, and itemize what they spend in a given month. Literally every single expense they have, and then add it all up. What are you spending? Now, what can you cut out of that? What can you make cheaper? What do you really not need? What are you spending too much on? It's a visual representation of what you're spending helps you put things into perspective. Like, oh, wow, I'm spending $500 a month on cable. I know people who spend $200-$300 a month on cable, and I'm like, cut the cord, right? Stream online.
I would do that after you slay the monster so that you aren't mad at money when you do that. I would rather it feel like foreplay.
Got it.
So when you have this gorgeous love of your life, and by the way, if you're married, here's the good news, because I hear this all the time from clients. I feel like I'm cheating on my spouse. And I go, great. And your money honey doesn't have a body, but guess who does? And that's really, really good. I've had so many marriages that were on the brink of falling apart because of money stress.
Yeah.
Go into
it's a big problem.
Permanent honeymoon mode.
Yeah.
So because the guy feels better about himself, the woman who goes through this feels safe and relaxed. She gets softer because her money honey is like this big guy who loves her. And so what you want to do now that you have this person, this imaginary person, is you want to have a conversation. The first rule of money honey is this person loves you and chooses you over everybody else in the world, wants to be with you, is not going to rescue you because you don't need to be rescued. You have the body, so you have the power. So you get to have a conversation that doesn't have any of your neurotic crap. So you get to say things like, what do you need from me so you can stay with me the way you want to? And you want to feel it in your whole body. You want to be turned on, and you will get answers, because when you ask a question, your mind plugs in the answer. But when you're in love, that frightened, bad decision-making back part of the head, the reptile brain, goes to, when we're frightened, that takes over, and we make really bad decisions based on fear. It's like our intelligence goes down the higher our fear is. But when we feel loved and safe, we can take a look at all of that chaos and all of these very dramatic circumstances and go, oh, okay, I can see what I could do here. And you get to have a conversation with your money honey who doesn't have any of your fears and sees you as wonderful. And you get to make a plan together. So and finally, step number 6 is concrete, measurable action. What does she want you to do so that you and she know that this relationship has changed and you're in love and you're in it to win it together? So that could be balance your checkbook or go over your expenses and get rid of stuff. It could be go to the park. I have a client whose money honey told her to go skating with her kid in the dead of winter in Canada, but she was too worried about money. So she didn't do it the first day, nothing changed. She didn't do it the second day, nothing changed. She did it the third day, had this really relaxing, connected experience with her son, came home, got a phone call and received $10,000. And that was just the
Geez.
beginning.
I go to the park every day. I don't come home to phone calls like that. That's for sure.
I have clients who make millions of dollars doing this.
Yeah.
So
it sounds great.
I know
now,
it sounds very
these,
scary, but we change when our feelings change. The mindset follows the heart.
Yeah, of course. Are these tactics, methodologies, and ideas all in your book?
You bet. And for
where
those
can people,
watching, I have it right here.
Oh, nice. Financial Alchemy. So I like it. It's kind of like almost like a potions, right? It sounds like from the medieval times.
I dig that stuff. But alchemy, full disclosure,
where can people find the book?
You can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on my website at morganarae.com. The benefit to getting it at my website is I have a secret bonus that you won't find at Amazon, a 2-hour Q&A call that if you come back and put in your name and your email address and your receipt number, you'll get a 2-hour Q&A where I actually walk you through all the twisty parts on the process so that you don't fall into any of the traps.
Perfect.
I use alchemy because alchemy is the transmutation of lead into gold. So we want to take like the worst lead stuff that has happened in your life and take it to the bank and make it work for you for the rest of your life.
Love it. Thank you, Morgana. This was awesome. Hopefully people learned a lot, and check out morganarae.com to get her book and her 2-hour Q&A. Woohoo. Thanks again for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we will see everybody in next week's episode.